Ms. Stace, what, if anything, did you do with this pickaxe? Again, it's States Exhibit 172, lab number 36.1, and for clarity's sake, I will just refer to it as a pickaxe. What did you do with this pickaxe when you received it into your lab?
I examined it for blood, and it did have some stains that tested positive for blood. I also examined the head of the tool, which was dirty, and I removed the dirt that was adhered to the surface. And underneath that dirt, I found what I thought could be ashes and human remains embedded in the eye of this pickaxe, which is right here. And I collected those, photographed them, and then I ran some of it for DNA.
So when you received that item, it didn't look the same way it does today, correct?
Correct.
And you kind of described it, but if you could just describe what it looked like when you received it.
All of these circles that you may see, I made those. So those were not there. And again, it was dirty. The blade had a fair amount of light brown dirt adhered. And so again, I had to remove it. I also ultimately swabbed the head of this item. So I have swabbed this whole area. So it's much less dirty than it was. There did appear to be some possible burn marks in the item as well, in addition to the burnt material that appeared to be inside the eye.
And you can go back to the stand.
Just really quick, I did want to point out there are 2 stains here on the pickaxe, and I did ultimately run those for DNA as well.
Ms. Stace, I'm going to show you on the Elmo what's been marked as States Exhibit 201K. Do you recognize that exhibit?
Yes, that is the pickaxe we just looked at.
The same pickaxe that's on the table in the courtroom.
Correct.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as 201L. And if you can describe for the jury what you see in this picture.
So on the leftmost side of the photo, there's what appeared to be dirt. That was the top surface of what I was examining. And so I removed it and put it off to the side. And then in the middle, what you see is that darker material that was embedded around the eye. And I also collected that separately and took a photo of it. And then ultimately I went back through it looking for anything I thought I could run for DNA.
And were you able to find anything that you could run for DNA in that?
I was.
You to look at States Exhibit 201M. You recognize that image?
I do.
What is that?
That is a photograph of some stains on the handle that tested positive for blood.
Were those the 2 you pointed out to the jury?
They were.
I'm going to go a little bit out of order. I'm going to show you what's been marked as States 201O. And if you can tell the jury what you observed in this image and what you were doing.
So that is a photo of the tool once I removed that top layer of dirt, and I haven't removed the dark material from the eye. As you can see, it's all around the shaft, and it's a little hard to see because it's dark, but it's basically in between the metal and the shaft as well, and then it's adhered to the surface of it.
And now I'm going to show you what's been marked as States Exhibit 201N. What is that?
That is a photograph of some of the larger pieces of material that I removed from that dark pile of debris from the eye.
I'll show you what's been marked as States Exhibit 201P. You recognize that picture?
I do.
And what does it represent?
It is a portion of what was in the previous photo. It was the largest piece of material I found.
What did you do with that?
The area in the blue box is the portion that I ran for DNA.
Were you able to obtain a DNA profile from that subject?
I did. I obtained a partial DNA profile.
And can you explain for the jury what a partial DNA profile is?
It means that at some of the locations we tested, we did not get results. That's very common in samples with a low level of DNA or samples that are degraded.
And when you say degraded, what could cause degradation?
Heat. So being subjected to a fire could cause that degradation.
And when you obtain a partial DNA profile, are you still able to do a comparative analysis against a known profile?
In this case, yes.
Okay. Is it accepted in the scientific community to do a comparative analysis with a partial profile?
Yes.
What were the, and in this case, did you do that comparative analysis?
I did.
What did you compare it against?
I compared it against the known reference samples I had in this case.
And can you just remind the jury what those known reference samples were?
At this time that I was doing this examination, I had a reference sample from J.J. Vallow, Tylee Ryan, Lori Vallow, and Chad Daybell.
And from your comparative analysis, did you come to any conclusions?
Yes, Tylee Ryan was a possible contributor to that partial DNA profile. It is at least 159 trillion times more likely to see this DNA profile if it originated from Tylee Ryan than if it originated from an unrelated, randomly selected individual from the general population.
Okay. And again, that's kind of, for lack of a better word, scientific speaking, just from a layman's perspective, how would you describe that?
So it means that all of the locations we tested where we had information, the peaks that were present were the same peaks that were present in Tylee Ryan's reference sample.
Thank you.